Hello everyone. I hope you are having a great day so far. My name is Rajendra Vijay and I'm a product manager with Automation Anywhere. In this session, we will learn how we can build a new package using our package SDK. Get started with the agenda. So we will first take a look at the package SDK scope, what all is possible using A2019 package SDK. Then we will take a look at the architecture of the package SDK. We will follow it with a quick walkthrough wherein we will cover the steps which are needed to create a new custom package in A2019 product. And then we will take a look at some of the configuration settings that we have on packages and action side. We will follow it with the localization settings. And then towards the end, we will take a look at the annotations and some of the best practices. With this, I'll get started on the SDK scope. So using our package SDK, our users can build new packages, new conditionals, which can be used in lots of packages. They can also create new iterators, which can be used in loop package, for example. Then they can also create new triggers, new variable types also. Since we will be spending a lot of time talking about packages and actions, I wanted to take a minute to explain what they are in simple terms. So if you look on the screen, on the left-hand side, we have in the bot editor, we have packages. You can see inside the red box. In the version 10 and version 11 of our product, these were called commands. And on the right-hand side of your screen, once you expand any of the packages, you will see actions. So inside those, inside that red box, you have all of these actions. In version 10 and version 11 of our product, these were called subcommands. With this defined, let's move on and take a look at the plugin architecture of package SDK. So with A2019, all of these packages are a part of the architecture in the form of a plugin. So if you have to update any of the packages, you do not really have to update the entire product. Your core bot runner foundation remains as is, and it is very easy for you to just upgrade one package. What this means is all the costs that you take in upgrading the foundation, that is saved. So it results in lower total cost of ownership, and overall maintenance cost is also very less because of your core bot runner foundation is not upgraded on a regular basis. We will move on. So if you want to build a new package, these are some of the things that you need on your site. Very first thing, JDK version 11 that you need. Then you need an ID of your choice. It could be IntelliJ, it could be Eclipse, it could be anything else that you prefer. Then you need a Gradle plugin. 5.x version is what we prefer. Then you need Automation Anywhere package SDK so that you can build your new packages, new actions, new conditionals or iterators, triggers, variables, etc. And then finally, whatever you have built, you want to test it. So you need Automation Anywhere bot agent. With that, I'll show you how it looks. So you can go to our docs portal, docs.automationanywhere.com, and you can search for package SDK and just download this zip file. And then when you extract it, this is what you get on your machine. So you get ready-made documentation, Gradle dependencies, libraries, and all. Once you expand libraries, this is what you see. So you have all of your runtime libraries, dependencies, your I18 APIs, your logger, etc. Everything is available. Now, this is the most interesting part of today's session. How do we build a custom package? So let's take a look at the steps that are needed. So first and foremost, you download the package SDK from our docs portal. Then you configure the package. You can configure that this is what I want to call the package. This is how I want to describe the package. These are the other properties of the package. Once you have done that, you can create a new action class. In that action class, you can again define the properties such as what is the label of the action, what is the description of the action, so on and so forth. And then you can also externalize and internationalize the UI labels or the exception messages that you are going to use inside your action. Finally, we will also take a look at how do we integrate unit test cases and integration test cases inside the IDE only. And once all this is done, we will build it. We are going to get a package jar file, which we will import inside A2019 system. Once it is imported, we will use it to build new bots. So with that, let's go to my IDE. So I have IntelliJ on my side. This is how it looks like. Once I've imported my package SDK, I'm going to go to first settings.gradle. So this is the setting file where I can just go and update the name of the root project that I see. I will call it imagine underscore demo underscore A2019 demo package. So this will be the name of the jar file which will get generated. I'll save it. And then I will go to package template, wherein I will configure some of the properties of the package. So again, the new package that I'm going to get, I'm going to give it this name. Imagine A2019 demo package. And as you can see, I can also give label and description. These values are surrounded by square brackets. What this means is it is possible for me to localize these values so that when a user is seeing from say US, they will see the English labels. When a user is seeing from say Japan, they will see labels in Japanese. And how do they do that? Through the locales, we have this file in which we can give the values for each of those strings. So for example, label, I can call that package, say again, imagine underscore demo underscore A2019 demo package. And I can change the description also. So I will just say imagine. And then similarly, I can give values for other stuff. And then if I have to do it for say Japanese, I can come to the corresponding file and I can change the values for a Japanese user. So whatever is shown here, that will be displayed to a Japanese user, right? Once we have done that, here is a file build.gradle in which I declare all of the dependencies which I'm going to use in my action class, which I'll cover in some time. So you can see this is the section where I'll update the dependencies file. And now let me go to the class. So I'll go to my action class. So this is the action class concatenate. Here I have a very simple action that I'm going to create. This action accepts two strings from a user, say string 1 and string 2, concatenates those two strings and return the output, return the concatenated string back to the user. So very simply, in your Java code, what you'll do is you'll create a method in which you'll accept two parameters from the user, and then you will write your business logic to concatenate those two and then return a new string type of variable back to the user. So I think all of you are aware how you can write this code in Java. Here, let us understand how we can convert the Java code or POJO, plain old Java object, to an automation anywhere action. There are a couple of steps. First of all, at the class level, you have to use these annotations, bot command annotation. You have to use at the class level, which will make this class eligible to be considered as an action, bot command annotation. Then you have to use command package annotation, this one, so that this particular action becomes a part of the package.json file, which is nothing but a manifest file which lists all of the properties for a given package. These two annotations you are using at the class level. Then there are annotations which you will use at the method level. For example, execute, that you will use. This is used to describe the entry point inside a given class. So you have execute, and once your method is also annotated, you take a look at the variables, and then you will annotate them using idx and pkg. So for example, in this case you are accepting two values, so you will say idx index 1, index 2, etc. You will use this annotation, index and package for each of those, and then you will also use some of the validations. So for example, you want to make it mandatory, so you will use these not empty, this particular validation rule, not empty for both of those, and finally you want to return the output to the user after performing the business logic that you are doing here. And let us also take a look at how you can externalize or internationalize the exception message. You can do it like this. So inside the resources uh, folder, you saw this here in the resource bundle. You can change the values in the message.properties for everything that you are externalizing or internationalizing. For example, for English, this is the exception message that I want to show. For Japanese, this is the message I want to show to the user, right? Let's come back to the class. This is all. And then you can also see that at the action level, I'm giving the name of the action right here. The label of the action, again, I have uh, allowed user to localize it. So concatenate.label, I can go back to my this JSON file and change the value of this label. I can also localize the node label and description. So let's take a look at these values. So concatenate.label. So let me change the action label again. I can call it, say, I will prefix it with imagine, and then description and all, I can again change it. Let me keep it like this, and then you can see this is how I can make my Pojo into an automation anywhere action, right? And then this example, we created a new action, automation anywhere action, but we also have ready-made examples for you to create a new conditional, to create a new iterator, to create a new trigger, new variable, etc. Right? And then you can also, inside your IDE only, you can also build your own unit test cases, your integration test cases, etc. And you can do that integration testing right here inside the IDE, so that you do not have to do the testing on Automation Anywhere side once the package is imported into Automation Anywhere system. Let us build the package now. So I will say open in terminal, and I will say build.add clean build shadow jar. Build was successful, and then this is where I'm going to get a new package. So inside the lib folder, let me open it in the Explorer. Here is the libs folder, and you can see this is the name of the package jar that we have got, and it is having the same name which we had given in the settings.gradle file. Let's go to our control room and import this new package which we have just built. So we will go to the packages page, and then we will click here, add package. Only authorized users can import new packages inside Automation Anywhere system. So I'll select this jar file and click on upload package. And once I'm uploading it, you can see the values that are given, all the configuration options that I had used. This is the name of the package. This is the description where I prefixed imagine. These are the versions. Currently it is disabled, and these are the demo actions, etc., that we are going to import. This one we had changed imagine underscore concatenate. But there are other demo actions also which you are going to import, right? Similarly, we have all of those examples available. For now, let me just accept and enable and set it as default. Now this is available for use inside Automation Anywhere bots. So I can use it in new bots. I can also use it in existing bots directly. This is how it appears. So I'll search for, say, imagine. Here it is. This is the package which we have just imported. This was the action. And you can see first string, second string, etc. Everything is available right here. So this is how you can bring a new package inside Automation Anywhere system. I think the steps are pretty simple. And the types. So for example, sometimes when you are building the package, you want to see how it is going to look on the UI side. For that, we are shipping a new action, UI demo action, which will give you a glimpse of how it's going to look on the product UI side. So if you are using a text type in the code, for example, in the string concatenate action, we had used text type. So this is how it looks on the product UI. If you are using number type, this is how it was going to look. If you are planning to use Boolean type, this is how it was going to look, and all radio buttons look like this, etc. So that by looking at this, you can visualize in advance how this new action that I'm developing is going to appear on the product side, and you can take decisions accordingly. For example, you can change the order in which all of these fields are going to appear, etc. I'll not save it. Now let us take a look at some of the things which we have just seen. Settings.gradle. This was the very first file that we edited, and we gave the name imagine underscore demo underscore A2019 demo package. So the name of the package jar that was, and inside package.template, these were some of the configuration properties that we had. We could change the name of the package, label, and description. These two things could also be localized. For build.gradle, we could go and update the dependencies there. All of the external dependencies that you have, you can add in build.gradle, so that whenever you are generating your new package, the dependencies are automatically packed inside the new package. Wherever that package goes, all of the dependencies also automatically travel with the package. Inside the icons folder, you can put your custom icons. You can use them so that you can completely customize the look and feel of your new package. Inside resource bundle messages, you could see how we can internationalize the exception messages. Inside locales, where we had all of those JSON files. So I could have different values for Japanese users, for French users, for Korean users, etc. On the action setting, all of these were available inside the action class. So I could change the label of the action, description of the action, and node label. These three things I could also localize, and name of the action was going to remain same, English. And then on the localization side, this is how it looks. We have just seen it, but inside your code, whatever strings that you have in square brackets, so for example, all of these UI labels, you could put them in square brackets, and you can assign values for those inside your JSON files in locales folder. So for English users, the values will be updated here. For Japanese users, values will be updated in this particular file. For French users, values will be updated in this particular file. And these are the languages which we are supporting. We support English, we support French, Spanish, Japanese, Korean, etc. Now let's take a look at some of the annotations. For example, the very first one, bot command annotation. This is the most important one, which is used to make your action or make your Java class eligible to be considered as an action. And then the second one, bot command package annotation, which is also similar to bot command, and it is always used in conjunction with the bot command annotation. This particular annotation, command package annotation, will make the action eligible to appear in the package.json file in the manifest file. And similarly, you have all of these other annotations. You can take a look at those things in the documentation. This is the screenshot from the docs folder of package SDK, which is available on the local machine of the user who has downloaded the SDK. So all of that information is available. Now let's take a look at some of the best practices. So the very first thing is you want to do testing right inside your IDE. You do not want to import the package inside automation anywhere system, then test it, and then go back to IDE and fix it. So it's always advisable to use unit test cases and integration test cases right inside IDE. Then for basic validations, we ship some of the validation rules such as empty, not empty, equals, greater than, less than, etc. So it is always advisable to use those validation rules instead of writing your own rules. Third thing is, in terms of the dependency management, you should embed all of the dependencies inside your package jar, and you can use your build.gradle file where you declare everything so that all of your dependencies are a part of the jar. When the bot is running, you can unpack those dependencies at a temporary location. Once bot has finished running, you can delete those. And you should go for clean build so that you do not run into any conflicts that you have. On the logging side, we are shipping our default log4j logger. So it is always advisable to use this one instead of writing your own logger. On the error messages side, throw meaningful error messages using the I18N APIs that we are shipping. You should not throw the generic error messages. On the loops, try to avoid long-running while loops because they consume a lot of CPU and your bot might run into error messages. This is all. I hope you find this session useful, and I would strongly advise you to go to our docs portal, docs.automationanywhere.com, download the package SDK, and the steps that we have just seen, use those steps to build your own custom package and bring it inside Automation Anywhere system and then use it. Thank you. Thank you for joining this session.